All right, we are live.
Oh, we are.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. Good morning. I'm David Austin with davidaustingallery.com. Welcome to the studio. We're going to play and paint a lot of cool stuff. I think the leader that you put up kind of mentioned what we will. I'm going to cover that. But stay tuned because we're going to play with Acrylic watercolor brush pens and with some of the liquid watercolor as well that they have. Stay tuned. That's not today though. That's coming up. Some new techniques on that we're going to play with. Can't wait. Can't wait. So today we're going to draw on this 3 by 4 foot piece of wood panel, and then we're going to be using Rembrandt pastels, and I have some still in the containers, but most of them end up in this. So, and then for some reason when we rearranged the studio, Kristen, I can't find the rest of them. They've all kind of vanished. Or I used them all. I might have used them all too.
There's always that. You get into those little.
So these are the half sticks from Rembrandt, and these are on our website for sale too. The starter kits, but you can also get a lot of other types of colors. They're really fun. Then we're going to use some liquid acrylic from Amsterdam. I have a few colors left. I thought we'd play with that today. I have that same stuff inside of these big markers with little pens on them. And this is from Malto. They're extra huge, giant.
And they're refillable, correct?
Refillable. Black gesso, white flat paint, and maybe some other goodies here that will go. The expert series of, it's just painting. Figure it out. I'll figure it out as we go today. Been a busy week though.
Sure.
This is one of the busiest, and for us, you know, because I'm actually more of an introverted extrovert, or is it extroverted introvert? One of those two. I've had to perform a few times this week on our lives, and for a bunch of content that we've been doing. So it's been a busy week. We're doing the plein air paint.
I feel like we start every episode with, we've been busy.
Yeah, we are busy. Stay busy. I like working on a little chalk thing. So I'm just using a template to make some circles.
Where'd you find that template?
I don't remember.
It was part of a water bottle holder I had in our kitchen.
Well, there you go.
But we switched to glass and they didn't fit in there anymore, so.
By the way, this is at one of the last art shows we were at. This guy, I forget his name. Well, I brought a sheet over. Really cool mugs because he makes them from all Lake Superior types of clay. He mixes it in with some porcelainous clay, I'm assuming.
Fascinating.
But the sand, the iron-rich sand, and also some, I don't know, it's got a lot of different things, but it's really beautiful. He has other browns and creamy colors that are quite elegant as well, but this black one really drew me and I picked it up. I'm going to plug them. It's at lakesuperiorpottery.com. Lakesuperiorpottery.com. Check them out. Jonathan Wahlberg. Nice guy. Comic Center. I don't get any kickbacks. I just like his.
Yeah.
It's nice work.
It's always nice to support other artists.
Coffee from the Jura and spray bottle today. So we're going to do some work with pastels, and then we're going to work the acrylics in them, and make just a generalized big mess today. I think we'll see what develops. So I'm just moistening this down. And what I like about these is this is the Rembrandt pastels, is the richness and the pigmentation. Look at that. And I can also then use my heel to make some really nice gradients right off the bat. And this is into a wet surface. See, I can already do some gradients just with the heel of my hand. This is why I like to wear a glove though. And then this is the dry part over here. So that's pretty cool too. And that's working that dry. But it's such a high quality pigment in these things. It's just amazing. And this is the brown. And that's kind of wet into dry. I like to have. I really like the technique of doing it into the water, because I'll tell you why. One of the things you don't get is you don't get dust. So you can actually do this and not get a lot of dust when you're working with the chalks or the pastels. And I like that fact a lot.
Hey, look at that. The quality on the YouTube feed is finally what it's supposed to be.
Yay!
I found all of the Gidgy McGadgets so far.
Gidgy McGadgets. That's awesome.
Oh, hey, how is your art exhibit going? I think you go live this weekend, as I recall.
So that's the brown. Get that one. Here's a blue, purple blue. Let's try this one. They have a lot of colors. Look at that. That's just. Let's share which. It's just my heel. Just going for some organic shapes. Got rock and roll going over here today.
Yeah, I'm going to check it on the monitor to make sure it's not overly loud on the other channels.
But with the new mics and the new cameras and stuff, it's hard. So I appreciate all of you that have been bearing with us as we've learned our new technology here, because it's all new. Brand new stuff. Thank you. Where was it? Builders and Backers, right?
Yes, Builders and Backers.
Great program. Helping us get a little jump on the show that we otherwise just wouldn't have been able to do. They were really, I didn't work with them at all. Kristen did. And she said they were really, really great to work with.
They are great to work with.
This was all her doing. She did this. Oh, look at this color.
Oh, sweet.
That's that blue.
I'm sorry, I can't answer that question because I don't speak that language. Is anybody in the feed that can translate that? And I unfortunately can't jump to Google Translate. It went well? Oh, good. I'm glad your show went well.
Look at that. That's just fun. So I've been thinking about doing an entire painting, so to speak, out of these pastels. I'm not going to necessarily do that today, but look at how quickly, because you're working into the wet surface, you can get these gradients like that that are just so fun. Use the broad of it too and get a really big, exciting, look at that.
Yeah, this is Rembrandt soft pastels, not the oil, but the
Yeah, it's basically, it's soft pastel.
soft
So it's
pastels
like a chalk.
going into water. Just, that's it, on a board. Yeah, isn't that fun?
So these are up on our website if you want to check it out. I don't know if you've linked it right now, Kristen, or not, but.
Yeah, so we do sell these pastels on our website as well. This is why we're always saying wear gloves.
Yeah, well, and yet, this stuff in this is always a little bit questionable. So kind of a reference to plants, but at the same time, just some really neat biomorphic shapes. Just, it's so nice. I hadn't used these in a little while. For whatever reason, this morning, I was going, I know what I want to do. Because I don't always know what I want to do when I'm coming in here. And I went for a walk, and I still didn't know what to do.
If you want to see his paintings, you can wait till the end and I'll do a little walk around, or you can go to our website, davidaustingallery.com, and get a real idea.
Yeah, there's some
Answer that question.
Some great work.
What kind of board are you working on today?
So this is a plywood board. You want to get one that's resistant, like an underlayment thing that's going to be resistant to the water, coming up through or warping it quite a bit. This is very stable. I get it from the local lumberyard. He calls it, and I don't know if this is appropriate.
Don't say it.
I don't even know if it's an appropriate thing that he says. He's a very old guy, and Mr. DeSanto is amazing. But we get it from our local distributor of that. Let's see what color this is. That's like an olive
hi,
green.
Brazil, welcome. We've got Norway, I think, Sweden, Brazil, usually a few from California and Australia. Who else is painting? Somebody else has to be painting today.
Okay, this is the yellow.
You're very welcome, Rose.
Let's see what happens
Or
up
Rose.
here.
Rose, sorry. Apparently I've got wine on the brain because I said rosé.
Oh, look
Virginia.
at that yellow.
Oh, it's so nice. So that's still those pastels. It's just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pigmentation is just so intense.
And this is, again, I've misplaced the majority of my pastel sets. And the exact one I'm using is the one that's on our website right now.
Oh, thanks for following us, Shaky Artist. Appreciate it.
That's how I feel a lot of days.
Well, I felt terrible because we went and did those gallery walkarounds with the camera, and we got home and I put them in my computer and they're shaky. And I was like, what is going on? I can't be that shaky. Isn't there a stabilizer in this thing? It was turned off.
And here's another cool thing. Look at, I can blend these together. This is the yellow with that blue gray. And I don't know the names of these because I've lost the box. I've used these so long now that I don't have the box anymore. But Royal Talons has been so nice. By the way, we have a bunch of new stuff coming in about a week and a half from Royal Talons. Some new toys to play with. I'm so excited. And I should have gotten more of these. I forgot to order these. Look at that. So I could do a whole, like I said, I could do a whole painting using these. It's just, they're phenomenal. So let's move on a little bit, okay? This is the acrylic ink. And when you shake it, make sure the cap's on or you hold the end of this. Let's see how much is left in here. So remember, the board is a little bit wet right now, and so it is not probably as clear as it normally would be, or as vibrant, I should say. And I picked up a little bit of that other color. I don't care about that. That's kind of fun. So, you know, we always say create without fear, right?
We always do.
And that's a little bit watered down there, and so the vibrancy of that particular one's not going to show up. Oh, here it is down there. We can try on this. It's a little better. I don't know if they can see that, but you can see it on the, that's been mixed with some of the chalk, if you will. So here's some acrylic ink. This is right out of the tube. You got a little, yeah, that was getting to be a bit much.
Yeah, it was. You did a little bit of change up in the canned muzak.
For sure. This is really neat. This is the, like I said, the acrylic ink, Amsterdam, to answer the inevitable question.
We do sell prints on Saatchi Art, actually. If you want a print, head to Saatchi Art, look up David Austin, abstract, and you'll find us that way.
Yeah, is there a link on our website too?
Not yet.
Oh, you better get on that.
Well, this art shark was busy making websites for medical facilities. So
yeah, her other job, as they say, doing work for other organizations, but she's doing the you know, things like the. Look at that. That's the, now I'll tell you the color on this one, Azo Orange. I think we have some sets up, right? Of this
yeah,
one
yeah,
too?
actually we do. Hold on, let me just put them up here for people on Instagram.
Sometimes I'll pour it right out of the there. You can brush them on. They've got, again, nice pigmentation. And I'm just using my fingers right now to move that ink around.
Yeah, we've teamed up with Royal Talons to sell products, so it's pretty exciting.
I don't know how much is in there.
Ooh, Britain, welcome.
There's not much in there, as they say. Property to other kinds of inks, as far as what it does when it hits the water, you can see maybe that. It's a really nifty look.
Nifty.
Nifty, you heard me, nifty. And it gets down to the end, one of the things you can do is you can add just a little bit of water to it. If you add too much water, it stops becoming, In acrylic, the polymer is not enough. So there's a polymer in acrylics that make it adhere. It's an adhesive, right? Gives it some structural integrity. When you add too much water, it breaks it down. To me, that's okay still. You still have pigmentation. You still have color, right? But you have to treat it more like a watercolor at that point. That's at least how I do it. And there it is. That was just watered down. I'm just going to kind of move that over a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to shake it, guys. Aw, thanks for putting it in your cart. Truly appreciate that.
Here, try that. That's a dead one.
Good morning, Atanasio.
Throw that over with my other recycling.
I know you gave it to me phonetically once, but I'm not good at names. Hi. Nice to see you today. How have all the bad? I'm so bad. How have all the casting calls been going?
Okay, so I'm going to do this now. So this is just the flat white.
Oh, I said it the right way. Woo! Small victories.
That's it. That's a big victory, really, for you.
Oh. Yeah, it is.
This is just that white, flat white paint. Any flat white will do at the moment. A little different style than you've seen me do. I wanted to do something different. I've been feeling like my work needs to be kind of spreading out, and it's what kind of techniques I use. I'd forgotten I'm a mixed media artist, and I should be exploring all mixed media, right? So that's what I've been up to lately.
And now I can hear is, what have you done for me lately? Janet.
Wow. That's very random, love.
A pilot and some callbacks. Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back on a pitch deck that I sent in to a couple places.
Yeah, we've got, she has ideas.
Art Shark.
I'm gonna trademark that.
I've got it on t-shirts.
That's true.
One of my goals in life is to be like that guy from Mixed to Nuts, that Christmas movie.
Oh yeah.
What was his name? The comedian.
There were several. I don't remember.
Adam Sandler. And he's like, I'm the one who said, save the wheels on a t-shirt.
What's neat is because it is a wet surface, the paint is spreading and doing things on its own and creating some really interesting technique. Some blending, some really interesting blending. And so I keep my white usually in a bulk manner, big vats of it basically. And then I'll put it in this. In this case, it's an old black Gesso container. But that way, when I'm dipping it in, because you've seen it, I'm grabbing other colors as I do this. I won't have to care so much because I know that it's just a limited amount of this. And I actually enjoy the different colors that can come into the white as I use it over and over.
Welcome everybody just joining us this morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time of the day it is, wherever you are.
I was watching a thing, what is it, art history something or other, art history, I can't remember, otherwise we would put it up, the link. I was listening to it this morning before you guys got out. And he was talking about Piet Mondrian.
Okay.
I think they've got it mostly right.
Don't ask me, I clearly can't handle it.
I shouldn't mock her. She does a great job. Anyway, his early paintings were nothing what you would that you now relate to. He has the grid pattern with the color field structures, the black lines. But his early work was very traditional as well. So I found that very fascinating and interesting. And I thought maybe we would end up doing a little video of, I'm telling you this now, I hadn't told you this, a video of mine because people always ask, well, you're abstract, do you know how to draw? They're that kind of comment.
Yeah.
I love that kind of comment. I'm like, well, yes, I can do realism. Do I want to do realism is the question.
You have your moments. I've watched you.
Yeah, I mean, I do some representational stuff.
Oh, there's the train.
The train, I can hear the
Must
passing
be almost
train.
11. Yep.
But anyway, my point being is, you know, we could go through, I in the process of moving, I had discovered several of my sketchbooks from way back and some of my student work back in college. So I thought maybe it might be interesting to do some of that kind of exploration. And see what fun we can have just using white paint, a little bit of ink, and it goes a long way. If you're tight on a budget, this is a fun way to get a lot of gradients in here.
Well, what artist isn't on a budget?
I can think of a few.
Oh, Germany. Hi, welcome.
So now I can go back and what am I going to put in there now? I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'm going to do a crazy color. Let's try this one. This is the Expert Series. Well, it's hard to phthalo blue.
Oh, hi, Shabana. Welcome. Nice to see you today.
This is straight out of the tube. This stuff is, again, the pigmentation on this is very, pigment load, I guess they call it pigment load, is very, very high. It's just a beautiful, beautiful.
Hi, Susan. Welcome.
Check that out.
Fort Lauderdale. Good morning, Justin. Thank you. Like I always say, every time we do a show, go check out each other's artwork.
Yes.
Some of you guys are amazing. You're creating without fear, and it just shows. You do some amazing work. So go check each other out.
You are amazing.
Aw.
You look what is it? You look marvelous. That's it. You look
Marvelous.
Marvelous. There has to be at least one reference from an older movie or television show.
That'd be Billy Crystal, SNL, circa 1984.
Something like that, yeah. You look
Marvelous.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look how far that little squirt of the paint went. I mean, that's really nice, right?
Let's get a little close up here.
And I got the gold. Oh, I might do something with this gold.
Drop this down here. I apologize. There we go.
So this is the gold, Amsterdam Ink again.
Thanks for the follow, tater salad.
Tater salad. Oh, now of course.
Yeah, John. Ron White's in my head now.
Yeah.
You call me tater
Tater.
salad. Oh,
Like
well, you know,
tater
sometimes
tot.
knots are, I write them down on paper and then go back later if it's not working. And I will say Instagram's been a little bit buggy for me this week personally. Another great way is if all of you use Create Without Fear hashtags in your posts, then all we all ever have to do is go look Create Without Fear in the hashtag search and we can see everybody. That's also a really good way to get to know whoever is in our little cohort.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I didn't level this yet, did I? Oh, no. This table isn't level. Oh man.
Let the waterfall of paint begin.
Yeah. Oopsies. So that's that metallic gold. I'm going to let that thing work its way through and do its magic.
Acrylic paints and
Colors this one.
Rembrandt pastels.
Oh, this is the black. So this is just the black soft pastel here. Thought it was another color.
Welcome, Kimberly. I hope you're still here. I think you are. So we're using acrylic paints and Rembrandt soft pastels, some flat white acrylic paint, water, and a little bit of acrylic marker.
Yeah, so a little different approach than we've done in some of the other shows. I actually had a little bit different idea, but then when I started using those pastels, I kind of got sidetracked.
What are you using right now is the question.
The black, this one, that was the black soft pastel from Rembrandt.
Okay.
So it comes in some of the basic kits. You know, you can get different colors and gradients. We have a small selection of the ones that I use currently on our website at davidaustingallery.com. Kristen probably has some links up there somewhere. And so we're just playing with a lot of these different colors, and maybe we should bring in some red.
Bring in some red, all
I haven't
right.
done much with red lately. I've been kind of off with red.
It's weird because it's our little's favorite color, you know.
Is it now?
Mm-hmm. Tells me all the time. Thank you for sharing the link, Tater Salad. Appreciate it. So for those watching, we are right now on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. So if you want to see it in landscape, you can hop over to Twitch or YouTube. Otherwise, we do it in portrait on Instagram and TikTok.
I will say the content varies from each of the platforms too. That's something to bear in mind with us.
Oh, the black, I don't have the box anymore.
Which black?
The soft pastel black.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if you look right now on Instagram, and a question came from Instagram, it's actually pinned to the video right now, the brand that we're using. We sell them through our website.
I mean, you can get them at your major
You
stores,
can, but
too.
if you want to help support our show,
Yeah, it would be
because
nice.
I'm competitively priced.
I mean, that is the bottom line for us, is that, you know, as artists, you got to find different ways to keep doing things. And we do these, we don't charge for any classes. We don't charge for any of the information we give out. We're basically like a big open book of how we do things. And not everybody's that willing to provide, but we still have to, you know, we still have to feed our son.
Yeah.
Kristen and I can maybe go without food a little longer, but, you know, they don't, people don't look fondly on starving your children, so. Nor would I, you know, of course. So I'm allowing things to happen here. The paint is migrating. This is, you know, about that far off actually, because the garage, the studio floor, garage floor goes this way. So now I'm going to get a little bit crazy wacky with some black gesso. This is always a little scary.
Why is it scary?
Because, you know, you got these really, really cool looking forms and shapes and things, and now I'm going to go and mess it up with big black bold lines. Like I said, I was watching the Modran thing today, and Paul Klee is another guy that I really respect, and there's some other people, Motherthorpe, I think it was named him. We did the big black, you know, those big black marks on these huge canvases. They were really nifty.
Sorry for the nudge over on Facebook there. It's an octopus of cords down here.
That's pretty fun. I mean, look at the instant drama that you can add, but you really have to be courageous, especially if it's a really, you know, something that looks pretty cool that you did. And I like a lot of what I did here today, so this is really hard for me to make this change.
But the music is building with you.
I know, it's hilarious. There's this dramatic, I was feeling, why am I feeling
Hopeful and inspirational music in the background. Oh, there's the hopeful symbol.
It really is. That's funny. And the thing is, remember, you can always paint over things.
Yes, you can always paint over things because this is not a life and death situation.
No.
Why so serious? It's just paint.
You're in good form today.
Thank you.
I didn't think you got enough sleep to do that.
Oh, actually, last night was the first night I've slept in weeks.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I mean, outside of listening to what I think is a family of possums living under the house, I got sleep.
Yeah, the possum thing needs to be the rest.
Possum. I wake up to 4:30.
Pretty crazy. So that's the black gesso.
Oh, thank you for spelling your name for me again in the story.
Right, dear wife. Okay, I wonder if this is dry enough to use this one up there now. Shake well before you use. Remember, the top can come off.
It happens.
It's actually a good idea to hang on the top, by the way, when you're shaking up your acrylic markers. And then open them like soda. See how the top kind of pops off of there?
Yeah, we've lost a few nibs under the counter. It was sad.
It is. And you can get replacement nibs for these. Like this one is getting pretty dirty, and you can actually get new nibs.
Although I wonder if we could clean it in acetone and resurrect it. I'm going to try it. I'm curious. Less waste, you know?
I don't like acetone, but you are welcome.
Well, just nail polish.
Exactly.
Oh, thanks. Yay. We call it art tithing.
Art time.
Yeah, we sell something, we buy something from another artist.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We were just having a conversation over here on Instagram about it.
I see. Well, I definitely have over the years bought a lot of art. So this is just that marker, and typically I might try and do this when it's not so wet. But everything is truncated. It's like those cooking shows that you watch, right?
Yeah, where they pull a fully cooked casserole out of the oven.
And look, here it is. It's okay. It's just a little bit dirty. And it's what does Julia say? Butter about butter.
It'll be fine with a little more butter. Just rinse it off in the sink.
Something like that. She likes the butter. That's how I learned how to cook, was from her. Lots of butter.
I've been trying to think of like, oh, thanks for coming. See you later. Tater salad. Now, you know, like, who was the guy who did BAM? Emerald?
Oh, yeah.
Emerald?
Emerald, yeah.
Yeah. Like, is there something we should be doing like, pow?
I don't know, how many people do we leave when we do that? That's a good question. You know what? Here's some red. Some of these ended up in here for sure.
This is so fun from the side of the camera.
What's that? The
Oh,
colors?
just the colors. Yeah, it's really vibrant. It's really intense. And, you know, it's just as intense in person. It's not being pumped up on our end. It's just really this bright. It's so, so beautiful.
Thank you.
Welcome. Of course, I was talking about your hair.
In that case, you're talking about all the gray. And it's mostly white nowadays. Now I'm just drawing again. This is the Rembrandt pastels, and now I'm just drawing into the actual painting. Getting some little bit more detail worked into the piece, and in some cases, you know, adding little bits of color here and there. Add some pretend words over here. Actually, really, I'm surprised about this piece. You know, you're never really sure when you do a demo if you're gonna like it. But I like it. I don't know what that is, but it was fun to put in.
Welcome, everybody just joining us today. We are using mixed media acrylics and soft pastels on board.
Rembrandt.
Yeah.
Soft pastels. I think I just found one. So what I did, Kristen, I must have given up and just thrown them all in here.
Into your go box.
Yeah, because I think what I'm looking at right here. All right, I'm gonna kind of take a step back and see what I want to do next. We've got some really interesting depth being created with dark lines and contrasting lines. We've got some really fun stuff happening with the pastels and the gradients. It's just so much nicer when it's into the water. Do that spritz. Run the risk of spreading things I don't want to spread. Yes. Yes.
I know.
I feel like this is the montage that you speed it up. The part you're building and everything.
Got hard hats and vests on.
What were we watching yesterday that was nutty? What was that one with Little John?
Little John wants to do what? It's an HGTV show.
That is so cool. I had not seen it before. Kristen had. And one of the people from there started following us. It wasn't Little John. I can't remember her name. And it was really neat. I was like, oh, I didn't know about this show. And I showed Kristen, because we have to do the social media together. There's no way to keep up with all this.
No.
And I wish I could clone and then sell other Kristens to all of you out there. But I can't. I really need her. So you can't have her. But
you
anyway,
can hire me.
You can hire her. But so anyway, she started following us. So we watched an episode or two last night. It was really fun.
So no, that was not Duran Duran. That was canned music from Epidemic Sound. That was inspired by, I'm guessing, Duran Duran.
Sometimes if you have an
Oh, hi Louis, welcome.
What's who? Somebody I know?
Lockheed.
Oh, hi. If when you first started following us, I yelled out, "Oh, Lockheed Martin is following us!" And I was like, "Well, that'd be silly. Why would an airplane manufacturer be following us on Instagram, or was it TikTok? I don't
TikTok.
know.
Well, he's on both places, but.
And Norman was a great find.
Oh, Norman San, yeah. Listen to Norman San if you enjoy hip hop. He's a great supporter of our shorts and reels and TikToks, which is amazing.
You know,
he lets us use his music, and
his music's good.
Yeah.
I was in there the other day listening to it. That didn't go as sharp as I wanted to.
Also, his aesthetic is really cool. You go to his profile, it's nifty. And I'm going to say it again because we've had a rollover of joiners today. Go check each other out. Write down each other's handles. Go support each other and use the hashtag #CreateWithoutFear so we can all keep an eye on what everybody's up to. Push ourselves through the algorithm as a group. I'm actually surprised so many of you are here today, considering it's a holiday.
Yeah.
Weekend.
Well, how many are from overseas though?
I don't know. Mr. Nobody 531. That's a good name. Welcome, Crypto Disco. That's also fun. Look at that t-shirt. We've had a lot of joiners from the Middle East the last few weeks, which has been amazing.
Yeah, hi guys and gals. Nice
Welcome.
Just using my gloved hand to blend in some of those. I'm trying to create a little more depth in my paintings lately, and using what is very traditional methods of blending, contrast, line, shading, things like that. And I think that is quite fascinating. That I had stopped it for so long. I had been doing what a lot of the abstract expressionists did for a while, which was the flat surface. It was just uniform. You didn't really see a whole lot of depth in them, you know? I can't find my little towel. Wow, that's kind of fun.
Dear God, can you just stay in frame, please? Thank you. I'm going to give people motion sickness. Wow, thank you guys for ordering. I appreciate it.
Oh,
we just got
great.
some orders. Thank
Good.
you so much.
Thank you for that. Those will be drop shipped to you this week.
Yeah.
As soon as it's, Monday.
Yeah. Well, it might be Tuesday.
Give us
because of
a
the holiday.
Oh, it's a holiday, so give us an extra couple of days because it is a holiday, at least in the States, and nobody will be open.
We're open though. Come on down to the studio.
Yeah, right. We'll be here all week.
So, Crypto, what do you mean by you're figuring this out? Figuring out the platforms or figuring out painting rules or let's talk.
Yeah, you got a captive, experienced art shark over there.
Art shark.
Trademark pending.
I'm gonna give myself a little fin.
So I'm going in now with this is just a straight up soft charcoal and just doing some detail work. And the surface is still very, very damp in some areas. You remember, if you look at the beginning of this, and by the way, if you missed the beginning of today's show, it will be uploaded to a recorded version.
Yes.
To almost every platform imaginable, because my wife is brilliant.
Aw, thank you.
So you can view this from the beginning if you missed anything or if you are missing some of the beginning.
Well, thank you for following us, Danadu.
You know, I usually try not to do things that are so intensive on the show like this, you know, the detail work. Because then, we've had so many requests, well, how do you finish it? How do you work it further? And things like that. And this is how I work it further. The next stage that I would do after it dries is get it up vertical. And then I bring out the acrylic markers, you know, Amsterdam acrylic markers, or get whatever you happen to have. Just look in your junk drawer, something will work. And then I'll do some further defining, some accents. I might then, when I can get it up vertical, sometimes I'll climb up on the ladder and look down at it. You can then refine it with those, with pencils, the bruise out pencils, the charcoals, whatever you want to do over that. And if it's acrylic, you can even come in with your oil paints on top of that to do more work. So there's a lot of options available to you. And finishing can take days, hours, maybe you don't do any finishing, or it can take years. I just pulled out of storage a 5-foot by 2-foot piece today, or 2 days ago, I guess, because I suddenly had ideas on how I wanted to finish the thing. It took me 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Or 3 years. That was
the
that's
beginning
3 years.
of, yeah, so it's 3.5 maybe.
Put your whole body into it. If you're doing a big long line, you know, you're going to go with big long draw. Then you do your whole body so that you can get a nice, strong, straight line. Or sometimes you can just be a little bit coffee-addled and you just go crazy. Oh man, I'm really liking this piece a lot. Some of it's too wet to do a whole lot with yet, but that's okay. It'll get there eventually and we can play with some of these areas that are very, very moist. The other thing is with the darker colors, I can come in with the white charcoal or white pastels and outline some of the things as well. And I really like that. It's so fun to use the white over the darks. Try that. You know, it's a neat technique. It's a simple technique, but it can add more interest, more visual depth to the work. I can see what I want to do up here, but I'm not finding the color I want to do it with yet. Oh, maybe this is I have a really bright orange in here, but they're all covered with paints, so it's hard to see it. I might get a chartreuse or something.
Chartreuse, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. It's real fancy this morning.
But I don't find it. It'd be better if it was a reflex color, neon type thing. Fluorescent, something like that would be nice. And maybe I can add that later with the markers. You know, I don't have to do it now. Just outlining some areas, creating a little bit of visual interest within the piece, more depth. You can go very simple too. And you look at, I use de Kooning a lot because I've been reading a book of his right now about him.
rereading it, I should say. And in his latter years, in the, what was that, the 80s, 1980 something or other, he did a lot with just simple brush lines. So the lines would be, just, so there wasn't a lot of complication in it, but you could tell the sophistication and practice and years of practice. Because he died when he was 80, I think, somewhere in his 80s.
Yeah.
Really, for most of us artists, that's a pretty long time.
It can be a hard life.
Yeah, it can be hard. Anyway, so he was doing these pieces, and you know what? I don't know how much he was really with it back then, towards the latter years. But the line quality was phenomenal. It was a lot less complex than what I'm doing right now. Little circles, using a random Conti that I happen to have. It's kind of neat. Added some more interest there. Be bold, be brave when you do things like this. If you hesitate when you're doing your lines, it shows.
Yeah.
It really will show. So if you have a really not aggressive, but just a confident brushstroke, and that shows up for people. They can see that when they're looking at it. Even if they don't understand painting or the process of painting, you can see that very clearly. So how are we doing on our time frame today, Nola?
Oh, we are just about 47 minutes.
47 minutes. I think that's good. So I want to thank you all for coming today. And as usual, the minute I go off here offline, I will keep working. Because I'll be like, oh, look at that. I really appreciate you all being here. This has been a lot of fun today. It's been David Austin with davidaustingallery.com, my beautiful wife, Kristen. Our painting-inspired clothing, you can find some of it, like our art camouflage aprons. Those are on the main website,
Yep.
as well as some other goodies. And then also you can check out the clothing line, which is at muddypaw.net, muddypaw.net. And that is Get Outdoors. It's an active wear line that we've got, inspired by the energy from these paintings that we hope you all can enjoy. Thank you so much for coming today. We'll see you soon. There's a lot of content coming out right now from us. So check us out on all the different platforms. Thank you again. Kristen, thank you for...
Bye. Bye, everybody.
See you later. Bye-bye. Art Shark.